My name is Jennifer Kome, Director, Daiichi Farm Limited, where pig rearing is our business. Did you know that once you feed pigs well, the only other thing they do is lie down and enjoy themselves? Come, I show you how we do it in Daiichi. And here, our story begins. We ventured into pig farming not because we had an interest in pigs, because we were looking for a side hustle, because we already had a farm existing that was not being used. And along the way, we met this gentleman who had 300 to 400 pigs on their farm, and they spoke highly of the pig. And that piqued our interest. And we decided to visit the farm, and we found very good things happening on his farm. And from that time to where we are today, the journey has been quite interesting. The journey began almost 8 years ago. We started off with 30 sows, which to me I always think was very crazy. Before we could even land them at the farm, we decided we wanted more, so we took the number to 50. And the first 2 years for us was a learning process. And it was a very good learning process because we learned with more pigs. And we actually knew nothing about pigs. So we had to learn right from farrowing into growing the pigs. And I remember our first crop at the farm took more than 9 months to take to Farmer's Choice. And that journey today has really improved, because we are able to now get pigs out of the farm for between 6 to 6.5 months, but we have a few outliers that come out at 5.5 months. One of the things I love about pig farming is once you have hacked the process, it is very straightforward. You can actually do it very easily as a telephone farmer, as long as you have empowered and equipped the people who are at the farm. That is one of the advantages. Number two is the cycles of pig farming are almost guaranteed. You know this, it takes this long for a pig to farrow. It takes this long for a pig to grow from a piglet stage all the way to back on a stage. So it is something that can be synchronized, and it's actually scientific. The other thing that I find very interesting is we have been able to create employment and change the environment within where we are based. And this gives us a lot of joy. I think the last one is the money you make out of it. At the end of the day, the bottom line is what matters. The first 2 years, we really did not increase a lot as far as the breeding stock is concerned, because that was our learning process. But immediately after, we started increasing the animals from 50, and we did it in batches of 10, 10, 10. Why 10? You will ask. We always batch animals because this will determine how many animals we win on a weekly basis, because we require pigs to mature on this farm on a weekly basis. So we need to have 52 cycles. And when we realized that, we now started working towards adding 10, 10, 10 sows. At our highest capacity, we have had 260 sows on the farm. Of course, changes come in, and currently we are at a sow population of 196 with another 10 gilts that we shall bring into the cycle. We are currently able to get out of the farm between 50 and 75 animals, depending again with the cycle that has been planned at the farm. We have learned how to organize the crop at the farm to ensure that on a weekly basis we are selling. How we are able to achieve this is out of the feeding that they get. We give them nutritionally balanced meals. What happens out there is a lot of farmers will go to the market and collect leftovers. They'll go to the hotels, they'll go to the hospitals. Yes, this is good. It keeps the pigs very full, but at the end of the day, there is not going to be weight gain. That is why you'll find a farmer staying with a pig on their farm for more than a year, and they will be about 40 to 60 kgs. So I want you to remember, for commercial pig farming, you must go the extra mile and give the right nutrition. Basically, this is where we say garbage in, garbage out. In our growth process, there are certain things that we have learned from where we started off with 50 sows to our highest of 260 sows. One of the things that we realize is key and very important is breeding, is a breed. So in this country, we have 3 major breeds. We have large white, landrace, Duroc, and recently introduced is Max Bull. And all these animals have their own requirements. Unfortunately, in our country, we do not have any pure breeds. So we have learned along the way to improve what we already have at the farm through our own simple processes, looking at identifying a good mother, ensuring that we are going to use her sires or her piglets to improve on the breeding. Of course, we have to also source for good quality boars from good farms, because we do have other farmers who are doing a very good job, so that we can crossbreed these to give us a good breed. And with that good breed, if you give it a good quality meal, you will then be able to find pigs that will go to the market at the right time with the right kind of weight. The other thing that we have learned that is of key importance is farm management. And this is very, very important because we do not have a training program that is official from our agricultural training schools. So what we have done, we have a program that ensures we have young university graduates who are working at our farm. When they graduate, they will normally come in for internship. We give them a 6 months internship, and those that excel will normally be absorbed at the farm as supervisors. We have also realized that it is key to have a farm manager who has technical skills. Currently, our farm manager is a certified vet, and he is the one who is running the farm. This ensures that when he is able to deal with the small everyday issues that crop up at the farm, which can actually affect productivity. And since he joined, we have seen a very big change. And I would encourage every farmer who wants to go into pig farming large scale to ensure that they get these things right. The essential elements that are required for proper pig farming, one is your structure. The structure needs to be right. It has to be airy enough. That you ensure that the elements of the weather are kept out. You need to use the right materials because pigs are inquisitive animals. If you use the wrong materials, they will chew onto them, and that may bring about accidents. You also need to have the right size of pigsty, depending with the animal, the stage of growth of the animal. You need to have plenty of drinking water, because a pig has no sweat glands. So this requires that it cools itself by drinking water. And because also our feeds are normally mash, every time it eats, it needs to run to the drinking spot to go and to be able to drink water. We also need running water to ensure that the pigsty is kept clean. Because if you don't clean your pigsty properly, then you will introduce pathogens that will always affect the growth of pigs. The other key element that is required is proper farm management with the SOPs that are well documented for your farm manager and your farm hands to follow in your presence and in your absence. The other one is good nutrition for pigs at every stage of growth. This is the only way you'll be able to achieve your 95 to 102 kgs between 6 and 6.5 months. The other key element that I have noted, which maybe a lot of us never take into consideration, is you must always make sure that you keep books of accounts. This is the only way you'll be able to learn whether you are doing the right things. This is the only way you'll be able to keep track of how your farm is performing. Because if you continue to rear pigs and you're not making money out of it, it is hemorrhaging you. You will not enjoy the process. Of course, there are some other key areas like to ensure that your stockmen are well trained and they know that the pig is an important animal because that is what is employing them. Feeding is key in pig rearing. It takes about 60 to 70% depending with how and where you source your feeds. In Daiichi, we have gone through different processes We started off by buying feeds from feed millers in Thika. That did not work because the quality of the raw materials could not be guaranteed. So we moved from buying from individual feed millers and started to make our own feeds. And for the longest, we made our own feeds until late last year, when we got into processing and we realized that we were not able to get the right quality of raw materials for us to be able to get the right weights. And because of that move into processing, we subcontracted Unga Farm Care to make feeds for us, which we are currently using up to this point. And we find that whenever there is a challenge, we are able to work with them and we are able to come up with the proper nutrition and rectify. And whatever is working, we let it be. Of these three options, the best that stands out for us is, of course, making our own feeds, because we are guaranteed of what is going into the feeds. Two, we are also guaranteed of the density of the feeds. And when the right time comes, we will go back into doing our own feeds, because then we can tweak whenever there are issues, and we can also be able to plan better and bulk stock on raw materials when they are cheaper and more readily available. From the 50 sows that we began with, the journey has not been easy, but we've been able to grow organically to what we have currently, about 206. But at our highest, we have had 260 sows. The reason why we have cut down on our cutback is because we want to bring in cleaner breeds from other countries so that we can actually improve the output. Because with a better breed, it means if you feed them correctly, you'll get them out into the market for us within a period of 5 months. We also have improved on our nutrition because we want to ensure that we get the right nutrition for the animals at the right age. At Daiichi Farm, we have more than 6 different feeds that we are giving our animals, starting with the crib feed, which is given to the piglets, which we start to introduce them on day 7. Then we have what you call a pre-starter. This is the second stage. We give this to piglets just before we wean them. And in Daiichi Farm, we wean our piglets at 35 days. Then we have what you call a starter. This is fed from day 40 all the way to almost day 60. Then we shall now introduce this to sow and weaner. We also have what you call a finisher. This is for the bacona that is almost ready to go out. Why do we do this? Because different animals have different nutritional requirements. For our lactating sows, we have a lactator feed. You know, the lactating sow will require to have a higher nutritional value, so that is why we have done a better feed. For those that we have weaned, we give them what we call a DSF, which is a dry sow feed, because their nutritional requirements are different, especially at the early stages, for you to get healthy piglets and for you to ensure that they are not putting on a lot of weight. These are some of the things that we have learned on the farm. And the information and the learning is very key and very important for any farmer who is beginning. The one takeaway that I'll give a pig farmer is you must be passionate about it. You must also remember it is not a hobby, it's a commercial venture. And commercial ventures require that you put in the effort, that you put in the money, that you learn, because you cannot expect someone to know everything. You should be in charge, and you should learn as your employees are working. You should also learn, because with knowledge, then you are able to help each other and you're able to guide each other into getting the right product out into the market. I would like to encourage farmers on one issue. When you are starting your pig farming, you also need to think about the markets. In this country, we have one big player, and they are the ones whose uptake is very good. So they are able to buy pigs from each and every person. But you will only get your dollars worth or your shilling worth if you get into value addition. For Daiichi, our awakening moment was COVID. When COVID hit, you know what happened? The hotels and restaurants were closed, institutions were closed, and Farmers Choice was not able to take up all the pigs. Even if they bought all the pigs from us, of course the farm gate price went down. And we had a challenge because we had a huge number of animals at the farm. At that time, we had 3,000 pigs. And we needed to find a way of ensuring that these pigs get to the market, but we also get value for money. As Daiichi, we were toying with the idea of getting into value addition for the last 2 years, but COVID actually gave us the push, because we needed to make sure that we are getting value for money, and we are also able to sustain the farm, because Farmers Choice was not able to absorb all the animals and at the right price. So we found ourselves in a situation where we had to think very quickly and begin to think of how we shall start to process our products or our animals that we are getting from our farm. And this, we began with just doing cuts, because we had already started slaughtering on a small scale. Maybe we were doing 2 pigs a week. But when COVID started, we immediately scaled that up to about 10 animals on a weekly basis. And this we just used to call our friends and would tell them when we are slaughtering, and they would get orders. And as time went on, we thought a little bit further, and we thought we could always begin a process where now we don't just sell cuts, but we can start making sausages, things like bacon, which we actually are currently doing. This has come in as a very interesting process for us, because we used to sell raw products to a retailer. We are now into the space where we are processing for ourselves. And as we process, we now have to face the market. Basically, it is forward integration. And you remember with COVID, we opened our doors in September, and that was the height of COVID. The institutions were still closed. But how we have been able to overcome this, we are doing a lot of online marketing. And we are not targeting the big institutions. We are targeting the small institutions. We are targeting families. In fact, our slogan is from farm to kitchen. And the kitchen we are specifically interested in more is the family kitchen. Why are we interested in the family kitchen? Because we can guarantee quality, traceability. If you come to our farm, you will be able to see right from where the piglets, where the animals are bred, all the way to the farrowing stage. And you will agree with me, if you come to the farm, that pigs are actually very clean animals, because then we are taking care of that. So traceability is key. We ensure that animals are not given drugs at the wrong time. And then there is also consistency. The kind of meat that you will eat from Daiichi from day one is the same kind of meat that you will eat at the end of the year, because we feed and treat these animals the same way all the year round. I showed you what we are doing at the farm. Now I want to show you what we are doing with those pigs that we saw at the farm, so that you can understand the concept of farm to kitchen. Welcome. In terms of the product range that we have a range of sausages, cooked and fresh. We also have bacons. We have 3 types of bacons, streaky, collar, and back. We have premium cuts like the tenderloin, ribs, which is a favorite of every Kenyan. We have chops, we have strips. These are a specialty for Daiichi. We have what we call the belly rashers, which come from the belly. We also have rolled products, fresh cuts that you will enjoy. When it comes to distribution, our tagline is farm to kitchen. We are targeting online selling, where families can order together, and also stockists who are very close to your homes or to the estates, where you can walk in and buy a product, go back home and enjoy with your family and friends. We are also looking and recruiting new stockists who will be next to your estates, so that you can easily access this product when you require them within the shortest time possible. After we have recruited the stockists, the next step would be to recruit young people, the youth, who will be selling these products to you. Our ultimate goal as a company is to change the perception of the pig and pork meat in general, so that it becomes more widely acceptable, especially in our homes. Because I know a lot of people eat pork only in hotels, but I would like to see it as an everyday product that is being consumed by families and being enjoyed. That would be my mark for success. You have had my story as Mama Pork. I now invite you to come and enjoy our range of products, and I would also be interested to know what you're doing within your agribusiness. Share your story.